to episode 11. Today, I'll be talking to you about the support for you and your business. So when you build a home, it obviously needs support. It not only needs foundational support, but also structural support, otherwise it will fail. And I was talking to one of my coaches on the weekend, and he was talking to me about why don't I ask for help? And I hate asking for help. Even when my son was in hospital for 2.5 weeks, I had so many friends offer to help, cook meals, drop stuff up to the hospital. And I kept saying, it's all good, it's okay, I don't need anything. Because I guess when people ask for help, it makes you feel like you're not capable. Then he also said to me, it's only a burden if others experience a burden. So if they're not experiencing it, take the help. And it started, I started thinking about builders, and builders really don't like asking for help either. So then he worded it a bit differently and said, instead of asking for help, why don't you ask for support? So I sort of was like, well, I guess that's a better way to ask. I don't need to ask for help. I can just ask for support. So then I guess it's like the problem with houses. If we don't have foundational support under our homes, it causes us issues. So he went on to explain that when people ask for help, it psychologically makes them feel like they've failed or that they can't do something. But you can do it. So you can do it, you are capable of doing it, but you might need support in that area to achieve the goals faster and become more efficient. So why don't you ask for the support? So I started sort of thinking about it a bit more, and I guess builders typically don't ask for help, but they do need support to get to the end result, which is a house built for their clients. And when they're actually building a home for their clients, they do actually get support, but they probably don't realize it. And so what I'm referring to is that builders really are just a project manager of building the houses, and they subcontract the majority of the heavy lifting to contractors that are skilled in their trades. So builders are great at getting support to build a great home. Everyone knows an owner pays a builder to have their home built. So the builders are happy to use the money that that the owner pays them to pay for trades, to pay for materials, so that the client gets that home built. So the things that the client is paying you are tangible things. So you see them as, okay, well, I'm using this money to go and buy timber to build a house. I'm using this money to pay for a trade. You can see them doing something. So tangible means that it's something you can touch, or, you can see it causing a result. So I did speak about last week about having a goal that was in reach. You can feel it, you can measure it, and you can see it from one step to the other. So to keep builders accountable when building, there are milestones that you need to reach before you'll get your reward, which is you getting paid from your client. So you need to reach a progress payment stage. So you need to have the frame built before the client gives you the money for the frame. So there is that motivation and goal to keep you moving to get to that next stage. So that's how, I guess, the builder is kept accountable to give the client their result of getting a home. There is another option, though, that a home builder has to get their home built, and that is they could do it themselves as an owner builder. And I can hear everyone cringing. And, the typical thing is, how can they build a home? I've spent years learning about building. I had to get years of experience before I could even apply for my building license. Then I had to jump through all these hoops to even get insurance to cover my business. And I'm paying all these licensing fees. And an owner can just pay a couple $100 and do an online course and start building. So I'm using this analogy to, I guess, highlight what builders typically do in running their business side of the business that they may not even realize. So when a homeowner decides to be an owner builder, they typically believe that building themselves will save them loads of money, basically. So their vision is to go from no home to a beautifully built home. They usually have a budget, and they only get bits and pieces quoted as they're not an expert in building homes, and they have no ideas of all the details of building. So they start the process thinking that they'll get a discount on materials, supplies, and trades. But we as builders know the reality that that doesn't really happen. So the trades usually will charge them more as they're disorganized. They usually don't have the materials that they need to complete the job. They usually buy cheap fittings and fixtures that cause them issues when installing, or get call back to fix things later. Or, you know, the owner themselves has done some of the work and it's, you know, maybe they've built the frame and it's not, I guess it's not braced properly, or it's not straight and true. So then when the plasterer comes to do the work, you know, it's a substandard, basically a substandard finish. And it takes them forever to build. You know, they're usually trying to do a day job as well. So I guess what I'm saying is, what really was their return on their investment? Did it really end up costing them less? Did they end up with a better product or a better experience, or taking less time? So we also have a building certifying business, and we do deal with owner builders. And even though they're still meant to be paying for skilled tradesmen to complete the work, like we have to, they think they don't need to, and that they can complete the work, and they're allowed to do that, such as, you know, waterproofing, electrical work, and they end up having an unfinalised home because they can't supply the correct paperwork to finalise that home. I even had a homeowner tell me that they'd done their own termite treatment. They'd mixed up their own chemicals. And I said, geez, that sounds safe and non-cancerous. Surprisingly, they actually didn't really take my words too kindly and got quite offended. But, you know, they think that they, I guess, have the skills to be able to do the work. And I guess this is what builders do with the building side of their business. They don't necessarily have the skills to do the work, but think that they are saving their money by trying to do the work. So when you start building your business, you do have a vision. And I previously spoke about that vision in episode 6, in the importance of designing a business that is custom as the homes we build. And we usually start out just worrying about the basics, getting a house to build. A client comes in with a plan, so you come up with a price. And I've heard so many times that, I guess, builders that are only new to building, they just find out the price that the other builder has quoted the client, and they just do it cheaper. And they're like, yep, great, I'm on my way, I have my work, I'm getting money in the door. So they start building, and this is when they start realising there is all these other details that need attention. And they let the details slide, or they put them in a pile with all the other details. And then the piles start to get bigger. And then the pile explodes, which is usually the client exploding. And this, I guess, turns from what they thought was just a business where you build homes into an uncontrollable monster. And the mindset shift that needs to occur in order to get builders to ask for support in their business side of things needs to happen. And need to start, I guess, looking at who can support them. Builders typically want to hold on to as much money as they can, and rightly so. Everyone wants to hold on to as much money as they can. But the problem is that we don't often see the client's money as money that pays for our overheads, as it isn't tangible. So our overheads are often intangible. We don't necessarily see them or touch them. So we have, I guess, this sort of mindset of either not even charging the clients for our overheads, or not using the money that we are charging for our overheads to get the help that we need to push our building business in the right direction, and to, I guess, get things done properly and faster so that you don't have the complaints from the clients. So we need to start ensuring that we are, I guess, investing in growing and increasing profits rather than just seeing it as an expense. You know, it needs to be an investment. And you need to start not only building up your crew that helps you with building, such as the trades and suppliers supplying materials, but the people that will help you in your business. I did share in a previous episode about why I work in the building business. And I'd said that it was because I wanted to relieve my husband from a highly stressful, hugely liable, relentless, and unfulfilling business. So I was his support. He may not have asked me for help, and probably would never have, but I know he needed the support, and I know there are many, many other wives and partners that jump in to be the support for their builders. So I helped him figure it out, and builders need to be okay with communicating their vision and trusting others to help them reach that vision. And there are many ways you can get support. other than, having maybe to employ someone else or have your wife or girlfriend help you in the business. So last week I spoke of, say, programs such as Co-Construct. And a lot of builders cringe at the cost of paying for these types of programs. So, for example, Co-Construct, if you have 5 active projects, so 5 jobs that are going along the way, so you might start one a month. So you've got 5 at various stages throughout that period. So the cost of that is around 400, not US dollars, 400 Australian dollars. So if we break that down, so we've got 5 active projects, that's $80 per project for that month. But if we divide it even further into how much per business day, so let's just break it down to 20 working days for the month. That equates to $4 per day for one house. So $20 for 5 homes per day. So do you think using this program can save you $20 per day? If this saves you or an admin person 1 hour per day, and this is basically less than you're paying an employee or for an additional hour of work. So I reckon it would. So why do we keep resisting this type of support? So one way to keep your money within your, family unit is, yes, to get support from your wife or your partner or your girlfriend, so that money comes back into your family. And a lot of people then sort of say, well, my wife or my girlfriend doesn't know how to do the bookwork, or she doesn't know how to help. And I've spoken about this before about, people not thinking that they can help. But like I said, the builders don't know how to do the bookwork. So they've got to learn. So there is plenty of, help through online courses and coaches. And I've mentioned before that I'm releasing a program, the Custom Construct Code, that will give superior business systems that are tailored to your business. So investing in your business will give you a return on your investment and move you towards your vision quicker without hitting the wall or the exploding piles of details. It gives you the ability to efficiently increase the number of homes that you can build, the number of clients that you can serve, which in turn gives you more profitability that you've been looking to achieve for all the risks that you take by owning and building a business. So you need to start asking who instead of how you can do something. Start asking what your business is costing you. You would never say to a client, well, we'll just start building and I'll build along the way. I have no idea what it will cost and no one will ever do that. So why do we do that with our business? We need to start looking at how much, our minimum monthly costs of doing business are, so that you know what you can and can't afford to do and what you need to start charging to have the support to move towards your vision and keep you out of the exploding piles, So your minimum monthly spend is the expenses that you are committing to paying each month in your business. So your overheads. And this would be wages that are not billable through a client's build, such as admin staff, that you can't put a time to, working on any specific job. Paying yourself a wage. Again, that is time not billable to a specific project. So time spent driving from job to job, doing quoting, ordering materials. So that sort of time is not necessarily billable towards one particular job. So you need to work out how much time each, say, week or month you are actually spending doing that sort of thing so that you can work out how much you need to build into each project. So how much you're paying for your phones, your power, the computer subscriptions, your car payments, petrol. So these things all need to be worked out so they can be spread across each job based on a percentage of that job. So support will get you there quicker with less headaches, just like you get support when you're building a house. If you chose to build the house all on your own, it's obviously going to take you longer. Yeah, you might save a bit of money, but it'll take you longer to get to the goal of where you want to get to. So if the client was paying you for that job, your progress payments would come in slower. So you wouldn't necessarily, achieve that result that you're after. So you need to look at, better results by paying for that support. So start asking for the support that gives you, all of the know-how to run your custom home building business. So until next week, keep powering your business, and I'll see you then.